In the last couple of days, the country has been treated to unnecessarily heightened political rhetoric which threatens the positive gains being achieved from the handshake initiative led by His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta and former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga. We national leaders who hail from Mount Kenya region would like to put the record straight on a number of salient issues raised in this pointless political discourse. 1. We demand respect to the President and the Presidency. We demand respect for President as head of government, head of state, and symbol of national unity. Individuals with divergent views must criticize or correct the President with decorum and respect. It is of paramount importance for individuals seeking the presidency now in the future to uphold respect for the office and the desire to occupy it in future. 2. On the President's legacy projects. From the time he got into power in 2013, President Uhuru Kenyatta has committed himself doing everything in his power to better the lives of Kenyans in all possible way. It is for this reason that the President came up with the legacy projects as captured in the Big Four initiative. In the Big Four agenda of manufacturing, food security and nutrition, affordable housing and universal health care. These are issues the country should be focused on and not pointless succession politics. On 3, which is a Building Bridges initiative, allow me to let my sister mother carry on from there.
Exchange.
Okay, that's it. I'll show you.
Okay. It's easier than moving them.
Yeah.
As a result of His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta's patriotism and commitment for a united Kenya, devoid of bloodshed every elective season, the President and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga set aside their political differences to drive the Building Bridge initiative. It is our considered opinion that it is unpatriotic of some politicians who are sabotaging this positive initiative for personal political gain, and this should not be allowed. The war on graft, we believe all Kenyans of goodwill should unite and support the war against graft, which is absolutely necessary for the delivery of the Big Four agenda and essential services. Let it be known to one and all that the war on graft does not target individuals based on ethnicity, political persuasion, or other nebulous criteria, and that corruption fights back. As His Excellency the President has said, when people steal from public coffers, they do so as individuals, not ethnic communities, and as such, when they are made to face the music, they should be seen as individuals, not ethnic communities. On the succession, the President has stated over and over again that the country should focus on delivery of services to wananchi, not on worthless succession politics. We share this view and demand that all leaders of goodwill adhere to the President's directive on this issue. Finally, let all Kenyans know that elections are far away and the country has bigger problems to deal with outside elective politics. Patriotism calls on all of us to do and preach that which is best for all Kenyans, not pander to political interests and ambitions of any individual. That is the end of the statement.
Thank you. That is our statement. If there are questions pertaining to those points, we are more than, or clarification, we are more than willing. Yes.
Kuna wale ambao wanahisi kana kwamba tangu Rais Uhuru Kenyatta na naibu wake William Ruto washike usukani hakuja kuwa na maendeleo katika eneo la Mlima Kenya, na ndiposa wanajieleza, je, ni ukweli ama baadhi ya hawa ambao wanazungumza masuala haya wanajaribu kutafuta uungwaji mkono katika siasa ili kuunga labda kuunga mkono naibu wa rais katika azma yake ya urais wa mwaka 2020?
Kwanza kabisa tumesema ya kwamba kutoka mwaka wa 2013
Okay.
Look at the camera.
Okay. What shall we do? Shall we keep moving?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take several.
We take several questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
We are guided. We take several questions.
On development.
One is on development.
Yeah.
And are they using it as a conduit to probably support William Ruto and leave the president?
Yeah, they are paid.
And please mention your media houses as yours can be seen, but
I think
Yeah, somebody this side.
You mention your name, the media house,
yeah.
take several questions.
Okay, let's do it.
Then you can, three, then we can answer them. That was one.
A maximum of 5.
Yeah, we take 5.
And that will be all.
That's right.
And that would be it.
Reto?
My name is Stephen Leto from Citizen TV. There is a perception that those who are criticizing the president, particularly from Mount Kenya region, are seeing a leadership vacuum in terms of succession politics from Mount Kenya region. Is there a leadership vacuum from the Mount Kenya region, Madam Martha Karua and Ruto?
Okay, another one.
Another one, so that we take 3 or 4.
Tusikie vile unasema.
Kuhusiana hilo suala la siasa na William Ruto kuachwa na Raila kuonekana kwamba yamekuwa nafasi kusikizwa sana ndani ya serikali. Je, inawezekana kwamba
I can take the one of the vacuum, eh?
Okay.
The last one, the last
No,
question.
we said 5.
You take
No,
on the
these are
leadership
4.
vacuum.
Those are 3.
Criticism. Vacuum is taking. Politics you take. You are not repeating. This is not.
Has anybody else?
I'll take the vacuum.
there was this forum that was headed by Vanera that time, now the senator, the central Kenya caucus.
Yeah.
Do you have such a plan that you have so that you can choose your agenda? I was actually.
Okay.
So,
One more.
So one more, last one, then we can have Peter and Brother
Okay.
There's one there.
This is the one I answer generally.
My question is on the succession policy. Play the whistling Africa. Kwa Nidangu ni
You are from?
the whistling Africa.
Hiyo ni gani?
The weekly?
Kwa Nidangu is very simple. Media. One and one, they get 2. In terms of now this succession politics, it is like someone wants to get the deputy president position and the president position. If they put one and a half, they get 1.5. Now in terms of the president being a businessman and a negotiator, from your end, do you think the deputy president can succeed as president from your views?
Okay.
It's not there. Don't worry about that.
We are done with the question. Now you wait for the answer.
So we can do it this way.
One will not be
Okay. There are 5 questions we'll share with the Honorable Mother and Honorable Kilemi. Let me start on the issue of development. And we've all been in Parliament. And we know how development takes place, right from voting it in Parliament and seeing what has been going on. I think one thing that is absolutely clear is from 2013, the President and the Deputy President have been focused on starting projects everywhere. And you have seen how many times both the President and the Deputy President, they have been in Central Province initiating projects. If those are not projects in Central Province, what are they? And we have to be very, very specific on this. because the president was very clear in Mombasa. He would like to see development at every corner of the republic. That is his mandate. And therefore I want to appeal, and we have a few of the current colleagues here, that they know the route towards development and how development is voted. The forum for discussing development and allocation is in Parliament. It's not in the executive. What the executive has done over the years is to go out there and open projects that have been initiated. We come from the Mount Kenya area, and we know what has been done. And I think some members of Parliament spoke about it yesterday. So let us also be focused on the real issues, so that we can be able to discuss this subject with the sobriety that is required of it. The second thing is, we are saying there must be respect, even if there is divergent of views. We can address this thing with a lot of decorum if there are issues that are there indeed. Now, on criticism and vacuum, let me allow Mheshimiwa Kilemi to do that.
No, we will, after me, it will be governor and
The governor will come.
Just face them.
Yes, good afternoon. Yes, my name is Kilemi Mwiria, former Member of Parliament, Tigania West, and former Assistant Minister for Education, Science and Technology. Let me talk about the issue about the vacuum, but more importantly, talk about the dangers of the miseducation that the Tanga team is pervading around. I think one of the problems with this team is that they are going around in the country telling the people that the president is doing nothing in the Mount Kenya region as a way of getting him out of his agenda of his four pillars of development, but also so that he doesn't fight corruption. So really, it's a diversionary tactic. This is it, and it is important, if anything, if a caucus has to be formed, it's a caucus to go educating the people about the real agenda of these people. Secondly, there is a team that's going around making it look like it's a Kikuyu Kalenjin matter. That is a matter about the Rift Valley. That if we don't do this, people will fight in the Rift Valley. This country is not about just the Rift Valley. There are so many other Kenyans in this country. This country is not about Kalenjins and Kikuyus. Just because they have produced president, the last 50 years, doesn't mean that they have an entitlement. And it is important to also educate our people that the more we accommodate other people, the more we make it possible for people to know that a Turkana can be president, a Mumero can be president, as a Borana can be president. I think this is where we are going, and that's why we want to encourage the president to continue this fight, uniting the country, convincing every Kenyan and giving every Kenyan hope that it is possible, and that he cannot sit at State House and say, I am anointing so and so to be president, because he is the president of all Kenyans, and he is the president of all communities that can produce a Kenyan president. Thank you.
Let me also add on that point. How can we discuss a vacuum when the presidency has somebody, the deputy presidency has somebody, and they are both saying, let us tone down on politics and concentrate on development? Where does the issue of a vacuum arise? And that's why I would like to interrogate this. We have 3 years and a half to go. We do not have a lame duck presidency. Take that to the bank. The third question on politics, Mheshimiwa Martha will dwell on the question that was asked.
Okay, very, very shortly. I think we are trending on very dangerous ground where propaganda and fake news are taking over. For instance, this week, the Babs directed at the president and his response. I am not a member of his party, but he is my president and I support him. And I have seen people saying, making it look like the Washenzi remark was aimed at voters. Clearly, it is not true. It was aimed at the people irritating him.
And insulting him.
Those were the target, not the voters. And it must be made clear. And I think even the media, we have a duty as Kenyans, as the media, to present as it is. And thank God the media has presented both versions. Anybody Googling is able to see what is happening. And I am saying, politics is okay. Everybody is entitled to seek any seat they want. And I've told our male brothers in this country, the presidency is not a preserve for only men. Do not write us off as women. 2022 is far off. We are gathering steam and you'll be hearing from us soon. Therefore, let us not start talking as though the only candidates are the ones who have already declared.